What's going on, everyone? So this Mark Williams situation is wild, and we're still waiting around to see what the end result will be. It's probably going to take a while. If you're somebody that's hoping that this gets done in the next few hours, probably going to be disappointed. Who knows? Maybe it will. I mean, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know what conversations have been had. We don't know what the NBA is going to do. The NBA might not even pick it up. The NBA might just be like, hey, Lakers are in the right to do this. That's what it is. And this could be done, resolved, over with, signed, sealed, delivered. And then the Charlotte Hornets are going to have to figure out what they want to do, right? Can they convince Mark Williams to come over and play for their team? Can they, does he just sit the year out and then maybe they look to trade him in the offseason, right? And be like, well, now do your physicals on him. He's been healthy and he's, working out. We'll see. Supposedly, Mark Williams wants nothing to do with the Hornets. He's not with the team, right? At some point, he's probably going to have to be. Like if the Hornets say, like, hey, we're not trading, we're going to keep you, we want you on this team, right? Like, what, is Mark Williams just not going to ever play in the NBA again? No, he's going to be due for a new extension coming up soon, right? Like, I don't see a scenario where Mark Williams is like, if Charlotte, people got to keep in mind, Charlotte doesn't have to trade him. And even if he doesn't sign that extension, he's a restricted free agent. So even if another team goes and gives him the money, guess what? The Hornets could just match it. So again, the Hornets still have all the control over Mark Williams. The Hornets still have all the say over Mark Williams. Mark Williams might not have a choice but to play for the Hornets, and the Hornets don't have to pay him if he just wants to sit out, right? Like, if he's like, I'm not going to play for you, then they'll just be like, okay, fine, we'll not pay you, right? We're still going to retain your rights, still going to keep you. You just won't play in the league, right? Like, that's your decision, right? But if you want to play, and you want money, and you want to make a bag, guess what? You're going to have to play for us. And maybe if we find the right trade or we find the right deal later on down the road, then we'll find that deal, right? Maybe if Mark Williams shows that he's healthy, right? Maybe they even work something out with Mark Williams, like, hey, get the new contract now, show that you're healthy, show everybody that the Lakers are wrong, and now you can get that new contract, right? But there is also the possibility of Charlotte waiving Mark Williams. Now, I don't believe that happens. I would be very shocked if that happens because, again, they have all the control over him, right? They don't have to waive him. And again, Mark Williams isn't just going to not play basketball. So I don't see that happening. And they could also get, assets in the offseason for him, right? Like the Lakers would probably just swap Dalton Connect for Mark Williams in the offseason if push came to shove, right? Because the Lakers they just don't want to give up all the picks and assets and everything. They don't want to give up the package that they were going to have to give up for a guy that they don't believe can stay healthy long term. But if you can get him for half that package and keep your first and do everything, then you take the chance. Like if it's worth it, the Lakers would do it. The Lakers are just saying it's not worth it. Like the cost isn't worth the maybe, right? So that is something. But let's go under the assumption that they do waive Mark Williams, right? I've seen a lot of people say he won't clear waivers, right? Like that a team is going to pick him up and he'll never be a Laker. It's not true, right? Yes, a team could, because it goes by like priority, like worst team with worst record, all that stuff. So, and then it goes up the pecking order. And then if everyone just kind of waives, like usually guys clear waivers because none of those teams, it's usually guys that like are going to a contending team and everyone knows, right? So everyone, like all the bad teams are like, no, like we don't need him, we don't want him, right? We're trying to tank for the bottom, right? But somebody like Mark Williams, who's 23 years old, that you could get for free, absolutely teams would want that. But Mark Williams now would have all of the power and say, right? Because again, now he's not restricted anymore, right? The Hornets waived him. He's a free agent. He'd be an unrestricted free agent at that point, right? So again, he could just be like, I only want to go to Lakers, right? You can claim me off waivers. You can keep me for the rest of the season. And maybe a team does that or whatever. But he could be like, hey, in the offseason, I'm just going to go sign with the Lakers. Just letting you know that. So teams very likely probably just go, okay, like he wants to go to Lakers, he's going to go to Lakers, right? Like he's either going to go to Lakers now or he's going to go to Lakers next year. Why are we going to waive a guy and bring him in and pay him for the year basically just be burning money just to burn money, right? Or maybe you're hoping you can convince him to stay. But he'd get to play with Luka and LeBron. The question would be, does Mark Williams still want to go to the Lakers? That's the thing, right? Mark Williams could look at this as like, why would I want to go play with the Lakers, right? Like this whole mess is because of the Lakers, right? Like now, like my value is tanked, all that. Like it depends on how he looks at it. Right? He could look at it as like the Lakers are the devil and this is all because of the Lakers. Or he could look at it as like, no, I want to go to the Lakers and prove to the Lakers because that's the destination. That's the place I wanted to go to. They did like me. They did want to trade for me. They just don't want to give up. Like if he can kind of, see the full picture for what it is. Again, Lakers don't not want him. They just have concerns and they don't want to have to trade everything to go get him, right? If the Lakers could get him, like if they could just swap Dalton Connect right now, they'd probably do that. They'd probably swap Connect for Mark Williams because it's now the risk is worth the reward, right? Now the price is worth the maybe. But having to give up Dalton Connect and a first and a pick swap and all this other stuff, right? Now the risk isn't worth the maybe. The price isn't worth the maybe. But so how does Mark Williams see it? How does Mark Williams look at this situation? Does he look at it as like, no, the Lakers, right? Like they screwed me, right? I might not get an extension or a good contract now. Probably would have gotten a bag with the Charlotte Hornets, this, that, and the other, yada, right? He could look at this in a very negative light, or he could look at this as like, I could go to the Lakers, prove to the Lakers, get my bag with the Lakers, or if the Lakers don't want to pay me, still prove myself, right? Like, you've seen guys like Malik Monk, for example, right? Went to the Lakers on a prove a deal because the spotlight is bigger than everywhere else. Also, he's got to know Luka's going to make me look like an all-star, right? I'm a 16-10 guy without Luka. He doesn't have to like the Lakers organization. He can think that the Lakers organization, screwed him. He can look at the Lakers organization and just go like, man, like this is all because of them and kind of blame them. But at the end of the day, the Lakers are probably the best place for him because they need a starting center, right? If they get him, they're probably not going to get somebody to replace him. I've seen people be like, what about Dallas? Well, eventually Gafford, Lively, and AD are going to be back, whether it's this season or next season. So at some point, Mark Williams is going to be the odd man out, right? But on the Lakers, that wouldn't be the case. On the Lakers, he'd still be the guy. And again, he would have Luka that's just going to really elevate his ceiling and make him look better than he's ever looked. So either way, you can make the argument and justification if you're Mark Williams and really his agent. Like if I was his agent, even if Mark Williams is like I don't want anything to do with the Lakers. If I'm his agent, right, and I understand people are going to be like, well, you're a Laker fan, of course. No, but again, look at the scenario, right? Like, let me take the Lakers cap off for a second, right? Like, at the end of the day, what destination is better for him? All the young teams already have a center, right? Charlotte, he's not going to get the attention in Charlotte that he would in LA. Charlotte's got the best spotlight. They got the best players to make you look the best, right? Like, and if you prove it and you show that you're healthy and you show that you deserve the bag, one, Lakers are probably still going to give it to you. And two, right, and if not, another team might give it to you. And guess what? You wouldn't be a restricted free agent anymore. So if the Lakers don't want to pay you and another team's like, hey, we'll give you $20 million. Again, there's a lot of bad organizations. There's a lot of bad teams. I mean, Chicago supposedly got offered a first for Lonzo Ball and said, nah, we're good. We'll just sign him to a 2-year deal. Like, think Chicago would be like, hey, we'll give you, whatever, the 4 years, $120 million or whatever it is, right? Like, of course they would. So if you're Mark Williams, the best place is probably still the Lakers, right? Even if you do kind of look at the Lakers as like, the bad guy, like you guys did this to me type thing. If I'm his agent, I'd still be like, dude, go to the Lakers. Right, because Luka's going to make you look great. Forget the organization. Who cares about the organization? Who cares about, Jeannie and Rob and all them other guys, right? Just look at the situation. You get the best spotlight. You get the player that's going to make you look better than anybody else, right? Like, and you just go down the list. Again, if I'm his agent, right? Like, but if you're the Lakers, you snatch that up immediately. It boils down to Mark Williams. What does Mark Williams want? If he gets waived. Again, I don't believe he's going to get waived. I think Charlotte, they already look foolish. They look even more foolish. And if he goes to if the Lakers get Mark Williams for free, and still have Dalton Connect, a first, and all that other. Oh my God. Right? Talk about the rich getting richer. Right? I'm a Laker fan, and I'd still, like, obviously I'm a Laker guy, but I'd still be like, the league is rigged. Right? I'd still, clearly, like, they were in cahoots, right? Like, no, but in all seriousness, right? Like, man, like, that would be unbelievable. You do that immediately if that's really the case. But in all honesty, right, jokes aside, me playing around, I still think, like, they'll hold on to him. If he doesn't want to play this year, fine. They just won't let him play this year. And then they'll look to trade him in the offseason. If they don't want to kind of force his hand, they'll just trade him in the offseason. They'll get something. I mean, team will give up 2 seconds or something. Again, Lakers would probably still give up Connect in the offseason. So if you're Charlotte, like, and you really are that high on Dalton Connect as they supposedly are, like, you're still calling the Lakers to be like, yeah, I know we hate each other right now, but, give us Connect and you can have Mark Williams. And they just do the swap, right? Like, so I think it gets done. Lakers probably land Mark Williams one way or another eventually, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Past question you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How you feel? What are your thoughts? How do you agree with my points? Disagree with my points? Kind of mixed in the middle. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Now subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.